has always been my wingman, the life of the party. But I saw it change, and he got really down. Talked about his life being worthless.
If you know someone who's struggling, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home. Taking care of friends and neighbors. It's what we do in Nebraska. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking top models from Can-Am, Kawasaki, Honda, Polaris, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Indian Motorcycle, Sea-Doo, and Triton trailers. Score big on our massive selection of Can-Am side-by-sides with rebates up to $3,000 on select in-stock models. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location. They can't wait to get you set up for football season.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. This is Raff's Good Take on Sports right here, 93.7 The Ticket Weeknights. We got the man himself, the host of the show, Chris Raff, streaming in. You guys can join in, 402-464-5685. And I implore you to do so because we'll get to your questions if you guys do decide to put them in that second segment. 402-464-5685. One more time, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961. You can comment there as well. Raff, how's it going on a Wednesday night?
It's going pretty good. Not too bad. Another Alabama day. Some of you might know that I have taken on what is it, where you give rides to people. So I've been a driver in the last couple of days, so it's been quite the experience.
Oh, okay. Do you like doing that? Are you one of those people that gets the whole rundown when you're driving people of what they're doing, what their life, or are you silent?
Oh, I'm like 30% get the rundown, 70% I'm silent. So it's been an adventure. I've enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. So that's a positive. It's kind of addictive. I usually go out in the mornings till about lunch, but today I went back out this afternoon. I'm just having so much fun doing it. It's crazy. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, I mean, hey, each their own. I'm always curious. I always I'm the person that talks to the driver a lot because I'm always super curious about what do you all see when you do this? Because I know those guys always have a ton of stories.
Yeah, I haven't really seen much in just the few that I've drove, but usually I let the person in the car decide whether they're going to speak or not. So if they start talking, I'm more than happy because those rides go awfully quick when you start talking. But when you have those 20-25 minute drives and nobody says a word the entire time, you're like, wow, this is taking forever. But it's not too bad. I enjoy it.
You just crank up the music?
I had some 90s rock playing today.
Okay.
I had one guy in the car. He didn't say a word the entire trip, and then the very end there was a song that came on, and he started humming it and singing a little bit. So I was like, hey, there we go. I broke the ice 20 minutes in.
I always let the driver know on the way out if the music was good or not. Every now and then I'll be like, nice, good soundtrack. If it's not great, I won't say anything, but I do appreciate a good soundtrack from the driver.
Yep, 90s rock. That's where it's at right there.
It is. What is your favorite band, Raff?
My favorite band, man, I'm gonna go with Jason Boland and the Stragglers.
Oh, okay. Not on my bingo card.
Red Dirt Country. We used to go and watch him play in Lincoln a lot back when he'd come to, what was it? Uncle Ron's, and oh man, what was the other one? It was Uncle Ron's, and yeah, I forgot the name. Remember there was that one place on O Street that was like, oh, you probably too young or
yeah, come on, Raff.
Okay, listeners, the place on like 9th and O Street, what was that? It had where all the great musicians had came in through Nebraska. A lot of them had played there. It was sort of like the Boar's Nest on the Dukes of Hazzard. They'd be driving through Lincoln and stop and play that one night, and they'd have the autograph on the wall. So if anyone's listening who knows what the name, they had great tacos on Thursday, I believe. Taco Thursday, I think. Or was it taco? Yeah, taco. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So if somebody knows that out there and is listening, please give me the answer because I cannot remember the name of that place. But they had a bunch of great musicians that played there.
Yeah, I don't know. The only place that I hear, especially for rock, and I'm not even sure where these guys are, but the Zebra Bar, it's a small bar. I ran into it the one day I went down there, and there's some live rock music going on. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. What was I'm sorry, I'm going off topic here, but just out of curiosity,
that's fine.
What were you guys listening to in the 90s in the locker room?
90s, man. I wasn't really a big music guy. I had a few songs that I listened to going to games, but I'm trying to remember. Was it Lil Troy? I think that was Lil Troy. I think was one of the songs I listened to, and then crazy enough, little Tina Turner. I don't know why, but I had 2 songs before every game that I had to listen to. Those were my 2 songs. That was my superstition.
Let me think. 90s. Were you carrying the CD around, or no? What were you listening to?
Yeah, CD players were big back then. I remember early 90s. You knew you were the man if you had a tape cassette and a CD player both in your car. That was huge.
My buddy in high school, his first truck had a cassette player, and it didn't have the CD player, and you could actually get a cassette aux that you could plug your phone into this like weird and this like cassette box that you would put into the cassette player, and you could play the auxiliary through this like little made up cassette. Strangest thing, he did have actual cassettes that his grandpa gave him, all polka music. Polka music was popping off at some point in time. There was like hundreds of cassettes all full of polka music. I talked to my parents, they never listened to polka music, but that whole era fascinates me.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, there was some crazy stuff that was going on because remember too, with the tape cassettes, the way a lot of people would get their music would be like listening to like a local music station, and then they would request the song, and then you'd push play and record right when the song came on. And then the trick was not to get any of the person announcing the song or the end. It had to be the perfect cut. So I remember back, man, I'm gonna date myself here. I believe it was December of 1983. I got this weird idea that I was going to tape record the Denver Broncos AFC wildcard playoff game at Seattle's Kingdom. So I remember I was at my grandma and grandpa's house in Pierce, Nebraska, and we're watching the game. And when I started recording the game, nobody in the room could talk. So if somebody would talk or something, I'd be like, shh, I'm recording the game. I'm recording the game. So I thought that was going to be my gold mine right there. And then after that, I recorded every Denver Bronco game that was on TV in Lincoln, because back in the time, you know, we didn't have Sunday Ticket back in the Stone Age of the 90s and stuff. But I think I recorded every Denver Bronco game from like 1985 until probably 2003 or 4, probably.
Do you still have them?
Yeah.
That's going to be just an incredible archive to have as the time keeps going on. All those cassettes of the entire Broncos game.
The problem is finding a working VCR. I never converted them or anything like that. So they're still all on VCR tapes. There's probably about, I guess, probably 200, 300, 400 tapes, because I taped every Nebraska game too, from probably 92 until probably 2000 and 2001, probably.
Do TVs still let you hit the record option to watch it later?
Yeah, you can put it in the library.
Okay. Because I'm thinking like all the legal issues going on. Like when I was growing up, it was like LimeWire, and every musician was shredding, just everyone crying a million tears because we're losing all of our money. Oh my Lord. And it's like, relax, you guys are doing fine. But you guys were just doing it. No one cared at that point. You guys just recording it straight off of the radio into your cassette. And it wasn't a problem then, but I guess when it made it to the internet, everyone made a fit.
Yeah, this is crazy times back then. I'd make DP happy too. I think I recorded about the first probably 88 matches of Bill Goldberg's streak when he was undefeated. What is it, like 157-0? So, I mean, that was like back in the late 90s, wrestling was like must-watch TV. Even, I think, viewership-wise, I think it was even more than it is. I mean, wrestling's super popular right now, but man, back in the 90s, like, if Goldberg was wrestling on a Monday or a Thursday night, you had to be there to see if the streak was going to continue. It was crazy times in the wrestling world.
Well, I want to say, I'm looking it up right now, but they were number one pay-per-view for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't think you're wrong, because peak viewership, so far it was actually 1985, and they drew in 33 million viewers.
Wow. Well, that was
smokes.
That was the Hulk Hogan Rock and Wrestling and Andre the Giant, and you had the beginnings of Randy the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and all those guys back then. That was kind of like the beginning. I think wrestling for me, where it really kind of took grab with me, was probably like 84, 85 when Hogan got the title. And then I'll still remember to this day going to Pershing Auditorium and seeing Miss Elizabeth. I was like, there you go. I think 8-year-old Chris, that might have been his first crush.
Can't blame you. Can't blame you. That's a good.
Then I met my wife, and I was just like, man, Miss Elizabeth was nothing compared to that girl. So
I like how it took you all the way until, because you didn't get married that long ago, so you still had Miss Elizabeth on the mind all the way, and you finally met your wife, and you can put her behind in the past. But you held on. You held on to that fire for a long time. That's incredible. But you're right that it was Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. That was the event that drew in 33 million, a 15.2 Nielsen rating, which I'd have to familiarize with the Nielsen ratings, but I know 15 is an absurd number. But yeah, 33 million views. And for me, it was kind of dying. And then it picked up again as I'm getting older, where they're figuring it out. But it kind of died right when I was starting to grow up, where all of a sudden there was more cable channels, there was more things to watch, and it was a lot harder to get everyone locked in on WWE. Also, I think the stories were just kind of struggling. They lost a little bit of, well, I mean, just that match right there. I mean, Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan, iconic. There's a little bit of a lull there, and it was kind of like the John Cena show, and then who else? I was a Rey Mysterio guy for whatever reason. Shout out to my buddy, he was Brian Santiago. He got me on Rey Mysterio because that was his wrestler. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately it died when I was kind of growing up. That's not the right word. Slowed down, and now it's kind of heating up again. Also didn't help. My dad spoiled it to me pretty early.
You know what? To me, that kind of what brought wrestling back. The interest for me was just the way like the female division picked up, like the Ronda Rouseys and Sasha Banks and some of those wrestlers when they came in. Oh, Charlotte, of course, because I was just mesmerized by what they were doing in the ring, and I think that kind of grabbed my attention back to watching it again. And then they got in a new I guess you have some of your old guys that are there, but you got some of the new wrestlers that are, really made it popular. So, I mean, right now, I mean, WWE is riding high, and then they'll have their ESPN WrestlePalooza coming up in Indianapolis here in a few weeks. So, a lot of money printing that money.
Yeah, those guys are killing it. I think the UFC WWE partnership was just, for me, a layup. I was wondering if they'd ever do that because I'm a big, I'm kind of McMahon guy. I want to see you look. I want to believe it. I like the wrestlers that look like they could do what they're doing up there, and that's why I like Ronda Rousey, because when I see her in the WWE, I'm like, she could do more. Like, she could really dominate if she wanted to. And same thing with, why maybe not a big Gunther guy is, I'm just not really buying it with him. I'm like, I don't know if I'd really be you going against a real fighter. I don't know if you would stand a chance at all. And that's kind of how I assess it. Everyone's a little bit different, but yeah, I love the UFC crossovers when they do head into the WWE, because there's a lot of UFC fighters where I do wonder what would their persona be if they crossed the bridge. And Ronda Rousey was like kind of the first taste of that, and it was awesome. She was phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it was good. And then just the way she, brought in the Roddy Piper, so she wore his leather jacket when she first came back, and I mean, it kind of drew your old fans back to it. So I mean, they're very smart with what they do with those wrestlers and those people that make that crossover. And then,
who was your wrestler growing up?
Young, it was Hulk Hogan, and then college years it was Goldberg. And it goes back. I laugh with the Goldberg was funny, but another story I tell with the Nebraska wrestlers. Like, I love the Nebraska wrestling, but some of those guys are crazy. And we had a heavyweight, and I cannot remember what his name was, but he liked when I did the Goldberg moves on him. So the first night I met him, or I met him a few times, but he's like, "Hey, can you do that Goldberg thing where you lift me up over your head and then you slam me on the floor?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, just do it. It'll be fun." And I swear to you, I put him up over my head. I had him up, his legs straight up, and came down and slammed him down on the floor. And he thought it was the greatest thing ever. So every time I would see him, like, I used to help out with the Nebraska women's gymnastics team. After meets, the floor would be set up, and that guy would come up to me after every meet and be like, do it. And I'd have to put him up over my head and slam him down on the ground. Thought it was the greatest thing ever. And I was just like, that's got to hurt a little bit, but
that guy's wired differently. He would do that after every practice.
Oh, every Nebraska meet, it was a given that he would find me and be, "Hey." And then there was sometimes, I mean, we were just out on the grass outside in the yard, and he'd just be like, do that thing. I'm just like, "Man, you're crazy." So it evolved where I'd hit him with the spear. He'd struggle to get up, and then the jackhammer, and 1, 2, 3, and I win the title. And he's sitting there just laughing, thinking it's the greatest thing ever.
Did you ever feel bad after a certain point? I don't know what I would be feeling there. That's the most bizarre request.
Well, when he first asked me, I was like, no, I don't want to hurt you, and I don't want to hurt myself. And he's like, "Oh no, don't worry, just get me up over your head, and then just slam me down." And he goes, it'll be great. And I'm like, okay. And that was probably one of the first times where I said to myself, yeah, I'm not messing with these Nebraska wrestling guys. They're a little wild for me. So but yeah, those were some interesting times. That's for sure.
Did you get a crowd? Wait, I had to get to a certain point where everybody kind of knew what the rundown was, where people just like actively watching it, waiting for it to happen.
Oh yeah. When you saw, I mean, so what's heavyweight? 275, 265, 275?
Yeah.
So yeah, so when you had me, I probably at that time I was probably 235, 245, putting him up over my head. It was wild. But yeah, I always remember those days, and I cannot remember his name. One of these days I'm gonna have to get out an old Nebraska wrestling media guide and remember his name, because I know it's not the Tolly Thompsons, I know it's not the Rulon Gardners, but it was someone right in that area, and I just gotta find it. So eventually I'm going to come across that and mark him out as the craziest Nebraska wrestler I've ever met.
You know what year?
Oh, it would have been probably 96, 97 or 97, 98, because Goldberg was Goldberg, yeah, it's been probably between 97 and 99 would have been, and he was a heavyweight.
Okay, I'm really curious who this guy
Yeah, me
is.
too.
I gotta give him some credit here because I mean, that's a wild man.
Hopefully I'll recognize his name. But yeah, it would have been between 97 and 99 because that's when Goldberg was at the height of his streak.
Tolly Thompson?
No, it wasn't Tolly. It wasn't Tolly.
He's up there at 285 is what he was listed.
Yeah.
I'll have to do this over the break, and I want to see if I can find that name.
Yeah,
Now,
I'll try pulling it up too, and I'll see if I can recognize his name. So,
all right, Raff.
Those
are
are
I was anticipating going down to some WWE.
I had Major League Baseball to talk about, and I'll tell you what. I was looking at Major League Baseball, and I've got to say this one thing before we go to break. What happened to the batting averages in Major League Baseball? Aaron Judge is leading the entire Major League Baseball with a 321 batting average going into tonight. 321. When I was a kid, when Rod Carew was hitting 307, they thought he was in a slump. I mean, I couldn't believe that when I was looking at the batting averages. I was just like, this game's went completely to the long ball. There's no such thing anymore for small ball and base hits and stuff like that. I mean, I was stunned. Like, you've got Trey Turner is probably going to win the National League batting title, and he's batting. He's batting a whopping 305. I was like, wow. I mean, there was Rod Carew is one that, I mean, he was hitting like last year. He's probably like in his 270s, 280s. They thought, oh, it's over for him. I mean, right now you're hitting 280. You can play for the next 15 years.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, it's just you're swinging for the fences, quite literally. And that's what baseball has become, even seen at the college level too, where, some of those teams, if they got enough power, I mean, that's all they're trying to do. Is Florida, when we met him, like, that's all Florida was doing, was swinging for the fences. They weren't trying to go for base hits outside of one guy who managed to get a double every single time. I forget his name, but it's that on top of, pitcher's gotten a lot better and maybe steroids, well, I don't know.
Has the pitching got better, or is it just the way they're using them? Just like, how they only pitch them for 4 innings, 5 innings, and the rotation. Because I guess if you look back in like the 80s, you had these pitchers that were, wanting to go the complete game. Like, if they went 8 innings, they were upset. But you had the batters that were getting to see these pitchers, 3 or 4 times a game. And now you've got these batters that only get to see maybe the starting pitcher maybe twice. So I wonder if that's had to have played into some of the batting averages. I mean, but then you also wonder to yourself, say if the late great Tony Gwynn was still alive, would he still be able to hit, 350, 360 in today's baseball? That's the question I would have for the listeners out there. Do you think that Tony Gwynn could still hit the way that he did, back in the, man, what was he, 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, if he could still hit at that clip? Because I was just looking at that, and 321 is leading the league. I was stunned.
Well, but then, it's a combination of all that stuff. But then I think about, can you imagine putting Aaron Judge in the 80s? I think he would be dominant out there. I think you're probably right. The biggest thing is probably just the pitchers. You're getting fresh arms at you nonstop. And as soon as you get a pitcher shaken up a little bit, I mean, the bullpen's so big now, they'll just swap him out and they don't got to worry about it. Even, Shohei Ohtani, who's incredible. Like, they're still, you're having a lot of people asking, we need to put him as a closer, or a reliever at the end, and kind of figure out a way to utilize him to just use him in, way more games if you put him in that position.
Yep.
So there's just a lot more strategy with how they're using the pitchers. And I think you're right. I think that probably is just the biggest reason. I mean, you got fresh arms coming at you all the time now, and the pitching has gotten a little bit better. Not necessarily the athletes maybe, but just the technique. I mean, it's with any sport, it gets refined and refined and refined, but it's crazy. I didn't realize there was that much of a difference. I knew it was a difference, Raff, but that one I was not aware of.
Well,
how big?
Another one is the pitching wins. Yeah. There hasn't been a Cy Young winner since 2019 that had 20 wins and won the Cy Young. I mean, that's incredible to me, because I mean, there used to be, 3, 4, 5 pitchers a year that would have over 20 wins. Now, they're going on, it's going to be 7 years that right now the leader's, I think 16 wins right now. And so I don't think that they're going to be able to touch 20. So that'll go another year, that streak. So it's incredible to me that just the way the game has changed. Like now I also will there ever be another 300 game winner? I'd have to say right now, unless something changes in the game, I don't think you're ever going to see another 300 game winner in the major leagues.
I don't see it. If things keep going the way they're going, I don't see it either. With that being said, we do got to throw it to break, but a quick update on some MLB standings. Kansas City Royals, they did get the win today. They were 4 games back yesterday. Tonight, after the win, currently only sitting 3.5 back. Seattle Mariners is kind of the team chase right now. They're 77 and 68. Above them still, the Guardians. Why this matchup's so big? I mean, you can get a win against a team that you're trying to catch up on. Guardians 3 games back, and the Texas Rangers 1 game back. On the other side, you got the Giants chasing the Mets. They're 2 games back. Cincinnati Reds 2.5, and the Arizona Diamondbacks 3.5. And the St. Louis Cardinals with the biggest long shot that actually have the possibility, even if it's 1%, 4 games back at 72 and 74. So that's how it's sitting right now. Like I said, good win for the Royals today. They absolutely need it if they want to keep this thing alive, facing the Guardians. And they'll play again tomorrow right here on, tomorrow, Thursday, we got NFL on the Brick and Mortar. So you have to watch them, listen to them another way. But nonetheless, this is Raff's Good Take on Sports. We'll do the mailbag next. So you guys want to get some questions in. 402-464-5685. You guys can ask Raff whatever is on your mind. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to BeBigNow.org.
Feeling off lately? Struggling with your mental well-being can make everyday life harder, and it can also increase the risk of substance use. Early support can make a big difference. Visit myhealthymind.crediblemynd.com and take the free mental health check-in assessment. In just a few minutes, you'll get non-judgmental feedback, local resources, and next steps to help you feel more in control and supported. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
Acres Fall John Deere Super Sale event is underway. Our complete inventory of John Deere equipment is marked down to sell. From large ag equipment to compact tractors and gators, Acres has something for everyone. And don't miss our State Fair Harvest Days parts and merchandise sale in Grand Island. Special in-store discounts and incentives are available. Visit our Grand Island location at 4050 West Stawley Park Road and see what Acres has to offer. Visit acres.com for all the details. Offer ends September 13th, 2025.
Football game days are fun for the whole family, but not every child is ready for 4 quarters in the stadium. That's why the Lincoln Children's Museum offers game day play dates for kids ages 5 to 12. While you enjoy the game, your kids enjoy their own adventure at the museum, conveniently located just steps from the stadium. Registration required. And the fun isn't just on game days. The museum is open 6 days a week with 3 floors of hands-on play and activities. Out-of-town families, make the most of your weekend in Lincoln. Visit LincolnChildren'sMuseum.org. Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402 421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Sometimes it's hard to know if substance use is becoming a problem, especially when it becomes part of daily life or social routines. Take the free assessment, Is Your Substance Use Harmful?, at myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can understand your risk. You can take the assessment anonymously. In just minutes, you'll get practical, non-judgmental guidance and resources to support your health and well-being. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant. Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Hi, this is Tom Osborne. Join me on September 23rd and dine at your favorite local Renza in support of Teammates Mentoring. 10% of Renza sales on September 23rd will benefit your local Teammates Mentoring chapter. Teammates Mentoring helps students reach their full potential by providing a caring adult mentor to meet with them once a week in school. Thank you for your support of Teammates Mentoring. We will see you at Runza on September 23rd.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in segment number 2. We got the host, as always, Chris Raff, streaming in. Harrison Arndt on the ones and twos. You guys are always welcome to join in. And we did get one text over the break here. A very small mailbag today, but nonetheless, it's a mailbag. We'll consider it. Chris Raff, 2317, just wants to know, can the Broncos win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years?
Oh, that's an easy answer. 100% true. Yes.
I know. I kind of want to change the timeline on you. 1 year. Can they do it?
1 year. Like, are we talking like this year or next year or?
I'm talking next year. So I guess technically
next year. Yes, they can do it. I think that the Broncos can contend this year. A lot of it's going to depend on what the offense does. They're going to have to find, what they do best, because the defense right now, I mean, they're playing some good football. It'll be interesting to see, when they go up against a little bit better competition. I mean, nothing against Cam Ward. I mean, he's a rookie starting his first game, and but I'll tell you what, he's going to be a really good quarterback. Everybody that had any questions out of that last game, there was a lot of receivers that let him down last week, but yeah, I think the Broncos have an opportunity. That window is going to be open, I think, for them for probably, a while now. And the big thing about it too is the ownership. I mean, they are not, like we spoke last night, new stadium. They're spending, they're signing their people, they're keeping them happy. And what happens in the NFL is players talk, and they tend to go to where the best ownership's at, where they have the best opportunities for their families and for their to play for championships. And I think the Penner Group, I think they're one of those ownerships that they're they're set. They want to be the best, not just the best ownership, but the best team. So I think Denver's in good shape, especially after the last 10 years of what it went through, just with Patrick Bolin passing away. That was a huge, that hurt Denver a lot because the direction just was not there with the ownership. And now that they've got, steady ownership at the helm, I think Denver will be in good shape for years to come.
Yeah. I the only thing I'll ask you this, Bo Nix looks pretty bad just in that game. He looked great pretty much all of last year. Any fears with Bo Nix? It's the year 2 slump, if you believe in it or not, where you got the tape on the quarterbacks now. The defensive coordinator has got a little bit better of an idea on what they're comfortable and uncomfortable with. Any fears for Bo Nix after what was a really rough start? What was he? Yeah, 25 for 40, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks.
I think you always have that fear that maybe there'll be a sophomore slump. But one of the things that I'll say about Bo Nix, and I don't compare him to John Elway, but one thing about Bo Nix is I don't think Bo Nix really cares much about what his statistics are. He cares about the win. And he played better in the second half, and he put Denver in the position to win that game. So I look at Bo as just that consummate competitor who does not like to lose. And for me, for quarterbacks, I know we're in the age of statistics and touchdown passes and yardage thrown for and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I just want to see that win next to their name. And that's, going, Dylan Raiola, when he spoke at his press conference, like he wants to win. That's all that matters to him. So I like that when your quarterback is, dead set on winning and they don't care. Like I'll say this about Bo Nix. He threw 2 interceptions. One of them was, I thought the one to Cortland, I thought it was 50-50 ball. They both were 50-50. The second one probably wasn't the pass that I would have asked for. However, he forgets about it and goes to the next play. He doesn't let it shake him. So I like that. I like that about Bo Nix, how unflappable he is. Even when he does not make, every play, he bounces back from it and he doesn't have a long memory.
Yeah, that's one of the best traits you can have. Again, going back to the JJ McCarthy example, I think he got NFC Offensive Player of the Week. And
he probably should have.
Because for what he did. I mean, again, it's you throw a pick 6, you're 3 and out, you're not doing a whole lot. You just stay calm, and then in the fourth quarter, we know the story. You put 3 scoring drives together as a rookie. Yeah. Did not waver despite 3 really tough quarters of football and being responsible for 6 points himself as a rookie. It didn't faze him. And he did a really good job. So same thing with Bo Nix. He found a way to win the game, and that's all you're asking for.
Exactly.
When we get to the end of the season, and if they have a lot more wins than losses, and Bo Nix is the leader of that team, we're only going to have great things to say about Bo Nix and how he manages the game, even if sometimes the stats aren't great, which I think this game is a bit of an anomaly. That first game in, I'm not surprised by it, but I do think you guys got yourself quarterback in Bo Nix, despite what I saw in that game 1 versus that Titans defense.
Yeah, he's an Alabama kid too, so growing up hour away from me. Just joking, guys. Just joking.
With that being said, then you guys can continue texting if you got anything left to add.
Come on, bring me some questions. I'll answer anything. Wide open. Well, to a point at least.
I was gonna say, I mean, don't open the door all the way. You're married. There's certain things that you got to confirm with your wife before you give it to the entire audience. But true, you guys can put them in there. 402-464-5685. We do got plenty more NFL games. I don't know if you want to move to some NFL picks, Raff.
Yeah, we can talk about the games. If we get a question in, we can go back and answer the question. I think it starts tomorrow night. I think that game tomorrow night is going to be a good one. A really good game. Lambeau Field, Commanders, Packers.
Who's got the better quarterback?
Ooh. Can I give them a tie?
Okay. Who's got the better coach?
Can I give them a tie?
You're picking up on what I'm saying here. Who's got the home field advantage?
Lambeau Field. Lambeau lead.
Packers win, unfortunately. I picked the Packers. I picked the Packers simply. It feels like such a close game. I'm going to go with the home field. Same thing with the Bills and Ravens. Who's at home?
Yeah. Okay. I can go with that. But yeah, and you have Micah there. you're hoping that he can. Yeah, man, that's going to be a really good game. It's funny that like the first game I saw was the first game that really, I was like, man, that's going to be a really good Thursday night game. So I definitely will be tuning into that game to watch that after we're completed. Well, before and then during, and then after we'll do our show, and then I'll watch the fourth quarter. Be perfect.
Yeah, that'll be good. We'll get to kind of talk about some of the things that are happening in that game, what we're seeing in real time. But yeah, it kills me. I'll ask you. Hopefully, you only have fears and worries to tell me about. Jordan Love, how do you see his career going? Like, can he be that next plug-in from Favre to Rodgers to Love? Like, what's his ceiling?
Yeah, he's that guy. He's going to be there for a while. I see him going for, Favre went for 16, Rodgers went for 17. So I could see Jordan Love going, anywhere from 16 to 20 probably. Just a matter of, him getting paid. But I think that he's that quarterback. The Packers, I'll tell you what, they've stumbled into a great, when you all said and done, they're going to look at, 45 years of great quarterbacking, which is insane because they struggled for a while. If you go way back into the 70s, so they had Bart Starr, he retired, but then they got Lynn Dickey, the quarterback from Kansas State. He was their quarterback for, I think, 12, 13 years. And then after Lynn Dickey, they kind of went into a kind of a 10-year slump. And then Mikowski was a Pro Bowler, the Magic Man. Saw he was in the news the other day doing the wrong things. But So Mikowski got injured, and then Favre came in against the Bengals and threw had a horrible first game, but he threw the game-winning touchdown pass, I believe, to Kitrick Taylor to defeat the Bengals back in, was that 92? Yeah, somewhere in that range. So
I was -6. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, but when you look at it, I mean, the Packers could go 45 years with, 16 years with Favre, 17, 45 years of three great quarterbacks. That's almost like Pittsburgh Steeler like with Cowher and Chuck Noll and Mike Tomlin. They'll have three coaches over the last 60 years, which is just crazy.
Well, Raff, as a Bears fan, I hated that answer. I think you're right. So, Love can be that next piece, and they can just keep this beautiful train going. And it's just always baffling how some teams can do it. And then you go look at my Bears, and then me and DP, where we're going through all the Browns quarterbacks yesterday. Oh. It's unreal how some teams struggle so hard with this. And then you just run into teams like the Packers. It's like, oh, yeah, easy. 1, 2, 3. No second guesses. And it doesn't look like they should second guess, because I know Jordan Love's had a couple games, maybe 3 games at most, where he's a little bit inconsistent. You're kind of wondering, but the overall resume right now says he can absolutely live up to be that next generational talent that just keeps it running in Lambeau for 15, 20 years. And he's really embraced Lambeau. Like, he loves the Green Bay Packers, and the teammates really love it. Jordan Love. So it feels like he's got a really good thing going on over there. And as long as he's happy and as long as he can keep competing on the field, they got their guy for as long as he stays healthy and everything that I'm seeing. All right, we got to throw through another break. Any other games you want to quick talk about before we do so?
One more before we go to break. The Browns and Ravens. The reason why I'm saying this is the Browns really, shut down the Bengals offense. I'm curious to see, do I think the Browns are going to win? I don't think so. But I'm curious to see what the Browns can do with the Ravens offense, because the Browns have got a top-notch defense, Myles Garrett. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to shut down the Ravens offense, or if the Ravens will continue. I mean, yes, they lost to the Bills, but the Ravens offense was, they played great, take away that fumble by Henry. So I'm curious to that game just to see how the Browns defense, competes up against the Ravens offense.
Yeah, let's say, because Burrow looked bad. I mean, they made Burrow look like a very bad quarterback, and everyone knows at this point in his career, it's just not true, but their defense is really, really good. And in that first game, despite the loss to the Bengals, they showed that they can take one of the best offenses and make them really, really work for every single first down that they want to go and get. And I'll tell you what, if Derrick Henry gets over 100 rushing yards easy in this game, everyone better just look the hell out for the Ravens, because if they can cut through this Browns defense, then you really should be worried. And I think we kind of saw that with the Bills. I know it fell apart, but you saw how explosive they can be. And we talked about it already, but you let Derrick Henry get to that second level, it's just almost over. He's going to break that last tackle that he needs to get to. And then you're just hoping for some fast corner to track him down before it's too late. But that being said, though, we are up to our final break here. We got Raff's Good Take to wrap things up on segment number 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Limitless Male says, it's all fun and games until your testosterone plummets. Testosterone levels can start falling as early as age 30 with symptoms like no energy, poor sleep, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, and mood swings. If this sounds familiar, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel this good, you'll wonder why you waited so long to get a free consult at Limitless Male. Get scheduled today.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking top models from Can-Am, Kawasaki, Honda, Polaris, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Indian Motorcycle, Sea-Doo, and Triton trailers. Score big on our massive selection of Can-Am side-by-sides with rebates up to $3,000 on select in-stock models. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location. They can't wait to get you set up for football season.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Nutrition Authority invites you to try Blitz 250. Blitz 250 is a fully loaded pre-workout for those who want the most out of their workouts. Blitz 250 is safe for sport and banned substance free. Blitz 250 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. For location info, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You've been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn. At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call Liberty Law Group at 877-42-LIBERTY. Advocates you need, trial attorneys you can trust. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Hello, Husker fans. Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice for all your automotive needs. Whether new or used, car, truck, crossover, SUV, or EV, we've got them. Shop our ever-changing specials at ZollnerofBeatrice.com or give us a call today and go Big Red. We are Zollner, Fort Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment on Raff's Good Take on Sports. Chris Raff, the host as always, on a beautiful Wednesday night here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Well, I know you're not here in Lincoln, but at least I am. Raff's, what's your good take for the people that are listening here in Lincoln, Nebraska?
All right, everybody. Today's Raff's Good Take goes out to my dad's sister, my aunt, Cheryl Kruger. Just an amazing mom, amazing grandma, amazing wife, and one of the biggest Nebraska fans that you are going to find. Big fan of Nebraska football. I can still remember my sister getting married, gosh, almost 15 years ago. Nebraska was playing Michigan State. I believe it was the game-winning, was it Jamal Turner, I believe, or he caught the game-winning touchdown pass. I remember we were at my sister's kind of little reception dinner, and she was back there watching the game with us. So I just wanted to give out Raff's Good Take to my aunt, Cheryl Kruger. Cheryl, your Raff's Good Take.
Well said. You always got to shout out to the family. Speaking of that, I was just thinking of weddings. Was the wedding on game day?
Yes, it was. It was a small wedding down in not South Houston, League City, Texas. But the wedding was perfect because they got married, and then we made our way to the kind of reception place. It was the Raff kids like doing small weddings, I think is what it's all about. So small wedding.
I'm all right with that. That's awesome.
Yep. Went and watched Michigan State versus Nebraska, and I believe it was Jamal Turner that caught the pass there. So, and Nebraska won that day. So that was a good day. I guess that's one positive. I guess I did not get married on Nebraska football game Saturday.
That's what I was going to ask. I was like, you guys almost committed an egregious sin there. But the fact that how you kind of worked the Nebraska football game like as part of the wedding experience is beautiful. Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of people actually combine them and make the football game as important as the ceremony. Well, as important as the reception. But nonetheless, that flies in my book. I got no problems with that. If there is a wedding on a game day, is it okay not to go?
Oh man, Harrison. When you say that, all I think back to a friend of mine asked me to be a groomsman in his wedding, January 1st, 1994. And yeah, I chose Nebraska football. So yeah, it's okay not to go to a wedding if it's Nebraska football.
Yeah, as long as you're not like the best man. And now, for everyone listening, if you're the best man, you might have to suck it up and go be the best man. The guy must really like you. So I can't
remember if I was number 2 or number 3. Nah, he didn't really like me after that. So I can't say we've had many conversations the last 30 years since that.
Are you serious? Is that a real story where that was kind of the stick in the mud?
That's a real story. Yep, that is a true story.
Hey, but you know what? You wear it with your chest. You don't back down from it. I appreciate that. You doubled down on everything Husker. So
I did.
Oh,
great trip, great night. Everything was great that night. 24-17, Nebraska won.
And you didn't miss it, Raff. That's the important thing. Is you did not miss that game.
I was there. Sorry.
No, hey, you know what? He wasn't getting married to you. He got to live a nice, happy life. I'm sure he's doing great now.
He's doing big things. So big ups to him and his family.
Absolutely. All right, Raff, get us out of here. This is wrap up right now.
All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your night. And most importantly, be nice to each other. So everyone, we will talk to you tomorrow.